Move faster.
And jump higher tomorrow. You need INC today.
INC Sports Nutrition is banned substance tested.
And you form sports so far.
INC Sports Nutrition.
Powering tomorrow.
Today.
Jack's Cafe's rich, velvety smooth barista coffee.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Here we go. The Brisbane Bullets are in action against the Sydney Kings here. Now, things have just gone bad to worse for the Kings this year. RJ Hunter going down with a season-ending knee injury. It's going to be tough for them to get this one done, but I still think they're going to be able to bounce back and do it for two reasons. One, the Brisbane Bullets are a horror Friday night team. They've lost their last 8 Friday night games. And the Sydney Kings, well, a lot of their losses have come against Melbourne and Illawarra. So I still think they're a bit better than what their record would suggest. And Brisbane, not up to the level of those two that I just mentioned. So I'm going to take the Kings here head-to-head. I'm also going to take them at the line. And if it's going to be a close contest, which I reckon that it will be, then we'll take the under here. As it always is in the NBL, the under's one of your better bets. Enjoy and gamble responsibly.
Right now, the Bullets are getting anywhere they want to on the court.
Managing to tip the scoreboard over. Cross for Vodanovic. Kings in front. And there it is. The ground rise for Juan Jinglu with the rejection.
Coming off their biggest win of the Hungry Jacks NBL season so far, the Brisbane Bullets are looking to tick the next box, which is to win 2 games in a row, something that they haven't been able to do. We know their best is very good, and we know that their worst is pretty ordinary. What will it look like tonight? And they take on a Sydney Kings team who are one of the hype teams going into this NBL season. However, we haven't seen the best of them yet, and the question is, how much longer can they leave it? Hello and welcome to Friday Night Basketball as the Bullets play host to the Kings at Santa Maria. Liam, I think we're in for a good one tonight.
I think we are. Evening, Jack. No, this is a big game for all the reasons you just laid out. Sydney, of course, 3-game losing streak, desperately looking to bounce back. And the Bullets, well, they've had some really good wins over the course of this season, but as you say, haven't been able to win 2 in a row. Isaiah Moss, their 3rd import, making his NBL debut tonight.
Halls, there is their DoorDash starting 5, and there is Isaiah Moss. As Liam said, they've been very patient with his hamstring injury. We haven't seen him so far this season.
Looking forward to seeing him run around there, but that's their starting 5 we've seen for some time now, and they've got stars galore. They're very deep, and as you said off the top, very inconsistent. So can they find a way to get consistent wins, start playing some good basketball? Nathan Sobey leading the way, but they're an exciting team when they're up and about.
That inconsistency has plagued them over the last few years, to be honest. So big game for them today to get a 2nd win in a row.
Let's hear the thoughts of Coach James Duncan on those inconsistencies. A little earlier tonight, he caught up with our man, John Guana.
Here in Brisbane at Nissan Arena, as the Bullets look to make it 2 in a row tonight against the Sydney Kings. Now I'm joined by Bullets head coach James Duncan. And James, big game tonight. What do you have to do to make it 2 in a row?
Continue to do some of the things that we were doing last week by rebounding the ball and getting back in transition and just playing the right way of basketball. Yeah, we're looking to win 2 in a row.
You're taking on the Sydney Kings, team you're very familiar with. What does it mean for you to be facing the Kings tonight?
Not really about me. It's good to see some of those guys. The reality is that if it wasn't for the last 2 seasons with some of the success that we had, maybe I wouldn't be here. So I'm grateful for that. But I want to win, and the guys want to win, and the focus again is winning 2 in a row.
Well, good luck tonight against the Kings, and all the best, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Here's the DoorDash starting 5 for the Sydney Kings. You can use the code word BALLER at checkout for 20% off orders over $30. Jalen Adams on your screen right there is exactly that, a baller, Pete, but he needs some help.
Well, he's got to get going himself. And this is the guy they brought in to be that superstar, lead the floor, be their floor general, their captain out there on the floor. We know Jarrell Martin, Xavier Cook's going to do their thing, but it's going to start with Jalen Adams. He's only played the 3 games from coming back from injury, but they need to get him playing consistently consistently at a superstar level.
And as we know by now, RJ Hunter out for the rest of the season with a knee injury, Liam, so the search for an import has begun.
Yeah, they're well and truly in the import market. Conflicting views on what they should do, whether they should get a big or replace him with a similar player, a shooter on the wing, but they're certainly in that market. In the meantime, others need to step up. Dejan Vasiljevic, they need him to have a big game. And of course, Jarrell Martin, Xavier Cooks, their two-headed monster in the front court. They both need to come up big.
And absences are important for Sydney and shouldn't go unmentioned as well. RJ Hunter, we mentioned, out for the season. Jordan Hunter already out for the season with a foot injury. Bawali Bale's not playing again tonight with an ankle issue. And Makua Maker also not playing tonight, the next start. So that does test the depth of the Sydney Kings, and that has been a problem for them in recent weeks.
Well, it has, and they're coming up against a team that, as we said, is very deep. And anytime you've got Nathan Sobey, Lamar Patterson and Robert Franks starting, and you bring guys like veterans with Jason Kadee coming off the bench, and saw Jack Salt have a couple minutes. Big Lou was outstanding last weekend, so they've got enough talent, and this is going to be a big chance for the Sydney Kings, who they've been in front by double digits in the last 2 games they've played before fading out in the last quarter. So it's going to be a real big test for them, and this arena's pumping. This is the place to be. Bullets love playing at home. See how they start this one.
Won their last 3 at home against the Sydney Kings, the Brisbane Bullets. Just on the Kings, let's call a spade a shovel here, gentlemen, as we get set for tip-off. Are they starting to run out of time, Sydney? Like, is it now for them? Is it starting to get concerning at 3 and 5?
Which, geez, 3 and 5 is not a good record, especially for a team that has so much talent. Like, they've had some injuries, some hard luck stories, but yeah, 3-game losing streak, need to start to turn that around. And back-to-back games against the Bullets this week. This one in Brisbane, and then in a couple of days' time in the Harbour City.
Great crowd set for Friday night basketball. Our officials, Chris Reed, Scott Becker and Mark Mill. The 5th place Brisbane Bullets, 3 wins and 3 losses for the season, take on the 8th place Sydney Kings. As we mentioned, 3 wins and 5 losses so far in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Downloaded Cooks off the opening possession. Averaging 14 points a game. He lost it that time. Here's Robert Franks. First look. Rattles out. DJ Vasiljevic starting again this evening. Adams at the top of the key. Talk about good looks. That's exactly what he wanted first up.
That'll feel good for Jalen Adams. The Bullets just getting a little lost there in defensive transition. Lack of communication, and they leave the point guard open on the arc.
In his 4th game of the season, Jalen Adams. Everything we've seen so far has been pretty good. Lamar Patterson, 2 feet in the paint. Opens the account for the Bullets.
Well, he's been really good, Lamar Patterson. When he gets the ball in the post, we've seen it in the last couple of games. Always looking to pass, but knows when he can go to score. Xavier Cooks comes way off on that 3 ball. He's just 6 of 22 now in the season from 3, Xavier Cooks.
Nathan Sobey wanted a foul. That trip down the floor. Swaka LeBullet, career high 17 points last weekend. Cooks' his 2nd attempt from outside, no good.
Well, they're going to let that man shoot it. They've got Tyrell Harrison as the matchup on Xavier Cooks, and he's been told to stay at home. 0 for 2 from Cooks early.
A step into the paint by Harrison. He's growing in stature with every game we see.
It's not a shock to see him do that. He likes to be able to put the ball on the floor if it's a couple dribbles and attack the hoop. Getting really comfortable there, and as you can see what Liam's talking about, look where Harrison's guarding Cooks. Jalen Adams with the floater. That's a really good start for Jalen Adams, but I love the fact they rolled it into Cooks early, but he's got the speed, he's got the quickness, he's got the length to be able to try and get around Terrell Harrison. He is just playing a one-man zone underneath the hoop.
Harrison got it back and then might have copped a finger in the eye. Sydney have got the numerical advantage ahead. Adams pulls up for 3, 2nd of the opening quarter.
Well, he's feeling good. He's not on the floor. Jalen Adams certainly is. But Tyrell Harrison is in not a good way.
Well, he went down straight away. Inadvertent finger in the eye here. Did well to get the offensive rebound, and as he went to kind of pass, so Jarrell Martin got him there with his left hand, his left finger, poked him right in the eye, went down straight away, and Jalen Adams capitalised. 5-on-4 on the way back. Jalen Adams averaging 13 points across his 3 games, 24% from 3. This is a really good start for him. This is what they needed. This is what we said that the Kings needed, and he'll be happy to be starting like this.
As all 7 of their points, Terrell Harrison looks to be okay. Let's have another look here. Just completely inadvertent from Adams. Kings lead it by 3. Patterson averaging 15.5 points a game. Uses Drimmick. Patient this trip down the floor, Brisbane. Shot clock down to 5. Patterson pulls up. That's off target. Xavier Cooks with his second rebound. Gave it to Jarrell Martin, who stuffs it.
Great push from Xavier Cooks. Rebound and run. That's what Chase Buford tells his squad. And Xavier Cooks pushes it down that middle cylinder, finds Jarrell Martin, and he finishes with authority.
Patterson off the rim.
I like the matchup on this end. Xavier Cooks guarding Robert Franks. Robert Franks has been outstanding for the Bullets this season. He is a superstar. He's that player you were talking about, Liam.
Yeah, beautiful find. Just well-timed drop-off from Xavier Cooks, and strong take from Martin. One dribble, straight line drive, 2 hands for safety.
Vasiljevic got open. That looks good. Sydney is shooting the ball really well so far in this game. They're 5 of 7 from the field. It's not a stat that they excel at. They're last in the competition coming into this game at 38%. So far, shooting at 71%.
We spoke about Tyrell Harrison not guarding Xavier Cooks on the perimeter. Well, this is what Cooks is doing now, turning himself into a screener. So all of a sudden, his man's not there to help out. Open shooters. Jalen Adams got the floater off of that. And there, Vasiljevic from the perimeter.
They scored the last 9 points in the game, the Kings. Coming off a loss last Sunday to the New Zealand Breakers. Whereas Pete said they had a double-digit lead and gave it up late. Fourth quarters have been a real problem for them in recent weeks. Swaka LeBullock along the baseline, 2 more. That's an 11-0 run for the Kings.
It's been really good. Only Swaka LeBullock. I'm going to get a timeout here from James Duncan. Putting the ball on the floor, but stroking the 3 ball at 47%. So someone who's been a really good spark for them. But really the first story here is Jalen Adams. This is the one that they had to get going. He's brought in to be that superstar in the point guard position. And he started this one on fire, set the tone early. James Duncan needs to talk about it.
Trans D. Everybody guards everybody. You're just not running back to the basket. Everybody guards everybody. All right? We're getting a couple good shots, all right? Don't stop going to the rim. Continue to get on the rim. Get on the rim. Eventually, it's going to fall for us. All right? We good? Let's go again. Let's go I-5 or I-5 right here. All right? All right? Trim, you curl off, and then we see what we get. All right? Let's wake up defensively now, fellas. Here we go. Come on.
First time coaching against the Sydney Kings for James Duncan. Was an assistant there for 2 seasons. Was certainly in the discussion for a couple of those vacancies with the Kings head coach. But now he's with the Brisbane Bullets and doing some good things.
And they need to solve some early problems. Jalen Adams, as Pete was talking about, 7 quick points. We spoke about him off the top as a guy that the Kings really need to step up. And telling these guys to make sure they keep attacking the rim. 0 for 3 from long range to open this one. Couple misses from Frank. 1 from Patterson. So wants his guys to be a little bit more aggressive to the cup.
Let's get courtside for the first time tonight to John Guana.
G'day, gents. I was listening in on the Sydney Kings timeout there. Coach Buford, surprise, surprise, pretty happy with the way the team is playing. Really happy with their defense, and obviously getting those defensive stops, getting those defensive rebounds is enabling them to get out and run in transition, which they want to do. Really happy offensively as well. Wants them to continue to move the ball and be patient, but be aggressive and attack the rim when the opportunity presents itself.
I'm not sure that that's what James Duncan would have been asking for out of the timeout. Offensive foul there on Harrison.
Well, it's the way they played against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. When everyone came off the bench, the way they started the game, they were putting their head down, just attacking the hoop at all costs. And they had a lot of success with it.
Adams pulling up. Loose ball falls to Jarrell Martin. You can hear the groan from Bullets fans. That's going to make them groan even more. Vasiljevic bombs away.
Oh, he's now 2 for 2. Vasiljevic feeling good. So Jalen Adams and Dejan Vasiljevic up and about. Got their confidence from the perimeter going early.
Go down to Patterson, in desperate need of a bucket. He can't deliver. How different this looks to the opening quarter from Saturday's game, where they led 31-6 against the Phoenix at quarter time. Cooks hard to the rack. 16 straight points now for Sydney.
And that's what I was talking about, Xavier Cooks. When you've got a big fella like Harrison playing so far off you, if you put the ball straight on the floor, make a quick move at his body, he's a really good shot block around the hoop. But if you can get him a bit off balance, use your quickness and athleticism to get around him, you're going to have an advantage there. It's a good take by Xavier Cooks. And outstanding start for the Sydney Kings.
Here's Jarrell Martin. You see everything falling Sydney's way in the opening quarter.
We've been whistling for an unsportsmanlike foul down the other end. Chris Reed picking up Xavier Cooks saying, you grabbed his shorts. So an instant unsportsmanlike on Cooks. 2 in possession for the Bullets.
Shuan Xinglu checking into the game for the first time.
The guy dived and X just grabbed it, holding his jersey on the way through.
Harrison on the free throw line. His first miss from the line this season was a perfect 6 of 6 coming into tonight.
Only one.
It's been all Sydney in this opening term. It's their first point in the best part of 4 minutes.
Maybe this unsportsmanlike foul can help swing some momentum back to the Bullets' way. But Big Lou into the game, had 6 points, 5 rebounds in 11 minutes against the Phoenix. But I think what they loved most was his work ethic, the way he gets up quickly to try and set a screen, roll hard. He's just a massive presence when he's out there. How can they utilise him in the limited minutes that he does play?
Kadee on the floor too for a bit of energy. Big rebound, Franks, and puts it back in. His first points of the evening. Needless to say, they need more of that. Maker teeing up from outside. Free throws coming here for the Sydney Kings. Here's John Guana, courtside.
Yeah, guys, I spoke to Coach Duncan during the week about Big Lou, and what he liked about the game the other day was not just the offensive rebounds, but the attention he draws on the offensive glass. He drew a couple of defensive fouls also, attacking the offensive glass. So it's those little things he liked, the presence that he has at the rim. People get in their mind that they got to get a shot up over a 7'5" guy, makes him think twice. He's going to have an impact. He's going to have an opportunity to make another one here so far.
Well, that only happens if he does wait, screens out on the perimeter and then just attacks the hoop. He really does multiple efforts well, and that's why he plays those limited spurts. I mean, he's 7'5". See him get up and down the court, but James Duncan knows to throw him out there. He's going to give 110% every time he's out there and get him a quick spurt here and there and see what he can affect the game.
Sobey driving hard and gets all the way in for the layup. He's on the board now as well.
That's what James Duncan asked for in the timeout, isn't it? Be more aggressive towards the cup. So an offensive rebound put back from Franks. Good strong take there from Sobey.
How have you seen Nathan Sobey's season so far, Liam?
It's been a little less efficient than last year. Swaka Bullock from the corner. The Kings continue to tick it over. Just his percentages a little down from the field, from three-point territory, but still playing at a high level for this team. So not quite at that kind of MVP kind of level that he was at last year, third in MVP voting, but still a superstar in this league. And whenever the Bullets win, he's usually a big part of that process.
Here he is, All-NBL first team last season, came third in the MVP voting. Had an outstanding season. From the handoff from Lou, fouled while shooting three.
This is something that he's done really well over the last few games, Nathan Sobey's got himself back to the free throw line. Now, some of that is through attack on the rim, but also making plays like that one on the perimeter. averaging 7 free throw attempts per game over his last 3. Sold that one, not a lot of contact, but gets himself to the stripe. And that's what scorers do. Sometimes you got to sell it a little bit. Sometimes you get it through attacking the rim hard, but tick the scoreboard over from the free throw line. Then if you're maybe not as efficient from the field, you're still putting points on the board.
And this is the consistency that we keep talking about with the Bullets. I mean, the way they came out in that first quarter against the Phoenix last week, granted the Phoenix were coming off that COVID break for about a month and they were slow out the gates, but the Bullets' energy was incredible on both ends. The defense was turned right up. Offensively, they were executing the scout. Everybody was attacking the hoop. So James Duncan wouldn't be too thrilled. They've come out a bit flat to start this one and try and claw themselves back into it for the Kings, who we all know the talent's there. And if you give them a chance to start feeling good about themselves, then you can be in for a tough night.
Both teams will play each other again on Sunday. It'll be a home game for the Kings at Kudos Bank Arena. Adams, 2 more. He's had a big first quarter. That's 9 points on 4 of 5.
Well, he's moving really well. He's got that pep in his step. You see the little hop. They ran the same play that they were trying to run for Vasiljevic, where he hit the 3, and Adams put the ball on the floor, got to his little sweet spot, knocked it down.
Big rebound that time by Angus Glover. Kings playing with pace. Nice pass for Bruce. The extra one from Martin for Adams. He's short. Now Sobey on the charge. Wants to take on 3. Lou coming in late will be called for the foul on Glover.
I spoke before about the way Tyrell Harrison was defending those screening actions and what Xavier Cooks was doing as the screener. Kings doing similar stuff down the other end with Big Lou, helping to get Jalen Adams open. So they're trying to make sure that the guy who's Lou was guarding stay at the top, be a screener. That's how Jalen Adams got open on that last play.
He has 9. Dejan Vasiljevic has 6 for Sydney in the opening quarter. Nathan Sobey, the leading scorer for Brisbane, with 5. Good look for Cooks. He's had a couple of tries already. Again off the front of the iron. Brisbane happy to concede that 3 ball. Kadhi's pass almost knocked down. Krebs got it back and fires up an air ball. Oh dear.
You see Jason Kadhi just trying to put the ball on the floor, trying to attack the hoop. Kings right now want to match up Jack Salt into the game. So often see Jack Salt wasn't playing at the start of the season. Bullets often ran Robert Franks at the 5. Whether it was Deng Deng or Lamar Patterson at the 4, but small ball, and you can have a lot of success with it. Angus Glover goes upstairs, great backdoor cut, good pass. And they lock in and get a stop.
Back-to-back buckets now for the Kings. Just when Brisbane was starting to get a little bit of momentum going their way. Patterson at the top of the key. That will be another offensive foul on the screener. That time it was Salt.
Well, they're drawing these offensive fouls, the Kings, because they're fighting over those screens. Beautiful play from the Kings. Lamar Patterson can't see the ball, can't position himself the right angle between his man and the ball. So Angus Glover and Xavier Cooks make him pay.
4 fouls in the quarter for the Bullets. But it's the scoreboard that's more concerning for them. That play broke down. Bruce turns it over. Krebs at the other end. Nice spin. Nice Salt trying to muscle in on Cooks. He stood his ground. Cooks happy to take it at Salt at the other end. He couldn't come up with anything either. Deng Deng threw it away.
Well,
let's have the last 60 seconds back.
That's a 45-second period that nobody wants to see again.
Now the Kings can reset. Bruce. Shot clock down to 10. Got to the foul line. He couldn't convert either. Here's Jason Kadhi. Flips it back out for Krebs. Nice drive. Ball came out of his hands. He thought that he was stripped. Sydney certainly don't agree.
You hear James Duncan on the sidelines calling out move it. Wants his team to move the ball. The Bullets all season long, like most teams, but especially this group, they look so much better when the ball is popping around and getting through hands. They had 8 assists in that first quarter last week against South East Melbourne. Just 2 assists in the first 9 minutes of this one, as they've only put 12 on the board.
Brisbane staring down the barrel of their biggest quarter-time deficit of the season. Previously, it was 13 against the Breakers, and the Kings are going to challenge this call.
It's a big call. Only 48 seconds left in the quarter. You have 15 points. Very challenge out there now to be very confident. Danovic was very confident. He was looking the other way, ready to go. And he's going to be right. That look.
Well, the thing is, it was Vasiljevic whose hand actually got on the ball, but definitely comes off Krebs.
So that is right there. You can see he gets a hand to get it loose, and then it comes flying out of Krebs' hand. That is great trust from Chase Buford on a possession. There's no way he could have seen that from where he was standing.
Yep.
The flop warning for Sean Bruce, a few possessions earlier.
What's the penalty normally if you're the player and you call for the challenge and you're unsuccessful? What does that conversation look like with the coach?
A lot of it's going to depend on who you are in the pecking order, I would think, around certain teams. If it's Jalen Adams, Xavier Cooks, you probably get a bit more leniency.
Coach's challenge is successful. They keep their time out. White ball.
So what are you saying, Pete? If he's someone coming off the bench, someone like it, Tom Vodanovic,
you're saying
or
Tom
something like
Vodanovic
that?
gets that wrong, it's a fine?
Not a fine. If you have a dead set one that's correct, he's never going to go back to you. I can tell you from experience that was me. There's not a chance, and I'd get benched for it.
And you report to the baseline. 27-12 at Nissan Arena. The Bullets, we've used the word flat a few times in this opening quarter. That's exactly how they've looked. Sydney certainly up for the challenge. Cooks hard of the basket, met by Salt. Cooks got it back out. Vasiljevic feet set. Drains another deep one. That's 3 in the opening quarter.
Just love that possession from the Kings. And when you got another mismatch, Jack Salt guarding Xavier Cooks, just keep moving side to side, get all that movement, the defense moving. Xavier Cooks be able to pick and roll, get downhill, came up with the offensive rebound. It was well defended initially by Jack Salt, and Vasiljevic just started this game on fire.
Shot clock down to 4. It'll be a tough look for Deng Deng. Hand in the face, no worries. Good finish to the quarter for the Bullets. But this first term belongs to the Sydney Kings. They lead at 30-15 at Nissan Arena and have given the home team plenty to think about. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. The second quarter is coming up next. You're watching Friday Night Basketball in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The challenge pre-game was thrown down to the Sydney Kings, and in the first quarter, they certainly answered it. They lead 31-15. It's the biggest quarter-time margin that the Kings have had so far this season, and they have looked very sharp in doing so. And the winner of our $50 Kmart gift card for tonight is Parisa Jafari, who loves getting along to the basketball, and why not as well? Because if you are a Sydney Kings supporter, Pete Hooley, you would be delighted with what you've seen in this opening term.
Well, you would. This is what they had to start, and you're coming in to an opponent's home venue. You've got to ramp up the energy. They did that from the start, and I'm going to keep harping on about it, but Jalen Adams set the tone. He came out ultra aggressive, knocked down his first couple of shots. That's exactly what they need from their star point guard.
Speaking of Jalen Adams, one of his twos has been upgraded to a 3. Nice finish there from Patterson. So just confirming it was 15-31 at quarter time.
19 combined points for Adams and Vasiljevic in that first quarter. 7 of 9 combined from the field. That's huge for the Kings. They go right at Vasiljevic to start the second, can't hit. And for the Bullets, as Brisbane will take that out of bounds, 7 turnovers in that opening term. Yes, they struggled from the field. They were 0 for 5 from 3 before Deng Deng knocked one down, but only had 9 turnovers the entire game last week against Southeast Melbourne. So need to clean things up at the offensive end.
Is that sloppiness, or have Sydney caused some of those?
No, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Sydney's pressure's been good. A couple of offensive fouls and screening actions. But Brisbane, you mentioned the word flat. They just haven't had the juice either end of the floor.
I'm surprised we didn't see just a minute or two of Isaiah Moss back in the lineup just to throw it out there, see what he can bring. And again, it's great to see him active in the game, but he's coming into a team that has a lot of guard depth. And you've got Jason Kadee, Tanner Krebs has shown what he can bring to this outfit. Nathan Sobey's going to be playing 30-plus minutes a game. Lamar Patterson can obviously shift to play the 4 spot at times, but another one is going to be playing the majority of minutes.
Jalen Adams, 2 feet on the Bunnings logo. Feeling pretty confident, why not? Leads all scorers with 10 points. And Patterson able to get himself going so far. That's 2 of 7. Here's Adams up top. Yes! Jalen Adams lighting Nissan Arena up with 13 points.
Well, one of those timeouts in the first quarter, James Duncan was saying when getting back in transition off a miss or a turnover, you've got whoever. You don't have to find your man. And just again, they fell asleep as Lamar Patterson takes Sean Bruce down to the post, gets a foul call. But again, they just lose Jalen Adams. And that's Terrell Harrison right there, because Xavier Cooks had the mismatch going downhill, and Terrell Harrison, that's his matchup. So he was worried about what was happening with Xavier Cooks, but that was under control. You've got to find the other man right now. If Anthony Drumick had your man at the time, who's open, and that was Jalen Adams, and he's enjoying his start.
And down this end, that's where Lamar Patterson needs to go to work. He is such a handful down there. 0 for 3 from long range. He hasn't quite found his touch from out there, but his ability to get to the free throw line, overpower guys down low. He's got some favorable matchups with the Bullets playing him at the 2 and the 3, sometimes at the 1. Needs to take advantage of that.
He's just such a terrific decision maker, isn't he, when he gets the ball in that position, because so often is a mismatch, and if guys are moving, getting open on the weak side, Lamar Patterson will find you. What a start from Xavier Cooks. He's only got the 2 points. He's 1 of 6 from the field. And there's Isaiah Moss. Yet to see him check in. And you think if James Duncan maybe needs a spark or someone to try and find some points from somewhere, we'll see what he can bring. And Xavier Cooks, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Making a lot of things happen.
Hands off to Adams. Good time. The Kings drag it back out. They've been functioning really well offensively. That one, not their best possession.
They're trying to make sure they bring Xavier Cooks into as many of those handoff and screening actions as possible, because he's tough on those rolls for sure, but also, as we highlighted, Tyrell Harrison sitting off him, helping to try to get guys going, but the turnover there for the Kings.
Franks fighting for position on the low block with Xavier Cooks, who's called for the foul. It'll be his second.
There's another one. They need to get involved. Robert Franks. He's been a superstar, averaging 17 points and 10 rebounds a game. Just got 2 points, 2 rebounds so far, and hasn't really had an impact.
Bullets inbound. Patterson driving, trying to get busy. Almost trying a little too hard. Now Bruce motoring to the other end of the floor. It's knocked out of bounds.
Talk about trying to get Robert Franks going. He's got that tough matchup down that end of the floor. I mean, Xavier Cooks is a really tough guy to get going against. You saw the Kings, they shifted Cooks onto Dwight Reith last week.
Technical foul, number 10 White.
Well, that's Xavier Cooks, who had an unsportsmanlike foul with the pulling of the shorts. So this is really unfortunate for Xavier Cooks. Had that unsportsmanlike foul, gets a technical foul here.
That's something you see a lot of from Xavier Cooks. He's pretty softly spoken as a rule, but clearly unhappy with something that didn't go his way.
Yeah. No, that's all right, mate. That's all right. One shot. One shot.
So I'm going to assume he's ejected.
Well, you could just hear the referees just saying there he can't sit on the bench.
Yeah, he got the unsportsmanlike for holding the jersey. And he picks up the tee right there. I think that's all she wrote for Xavier Cooks.
We'll have to leave.
Well, no, we're
Not unsportsmanlike foul.
Nathan, I understand what you're trying to say.
Foul, so he can't sit on the bench. Yes. Hey, Xavier, be smart.
Gee, here is a moment in the game. Xavier Cooks has been such a handful for Brisbane so far, and his work at the defensive end has been superb. With 7 minutes remaining before half-time, he's headed to the showers.
Well, that's huge. Jeez, must have been some language or something involved there to pick up the tee. But you see the frustration there for Chase Buford. Cannot believe he has lost one of his big-time stars in the first half of this really important game.
Confusion reigns. You can see Jalen Adams asking the question of Scott Becker there. Is this the turning point? Adams. Not that time. Harrison drags it in.
I'm not sure whether it was Chase Buford or Kevin Licious. Robert Franks tries to get going. Asking the question if it was delay of game technical foul, which it wasn't. It was a verbal technical foul. It's the word that's come through. So he hasn't been happy about something. And as we said, that's after that unsportsmanlike foul for the pulling of the shorts. A couple words to say, and that's all she wrote for Xavier Cooks.
Vasiljevic step back. Gets it to roll home. And he's got himself into double figures.
He was out there having a massive impact, Xavier Cooks. Vasiljevic, he's playing well, so is Jalen Adams. And Cooks might not have been ticking the scoreboard over. 2 points, 1 of 6 from the field. But as Pete highlighted before, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And his defense against Robert Franks had been really effective.
The bank's open on a Friday night in Brisbane.
Well, I think that's where it's going to really hurt is the defensive end. As you said, he's done a really good job one-on-one on Robert Franks. Yes, he's getting a lot going on the offensive end. Here come the Bullets.
That is going to be a very clear offensive foul on Nathan Sobey. He wants James Duncan to have a look at it.
Well, that wouldn't be a wise decision, because that was a really straightforward offensive foul. I don't know what he was thinking there, coming across, just making contact with Jalen Adams. It's an easy call to make.
My friend, front court.
That's why you don't always listen to the players when they want something reviewed, because something like that happens.
Hang on, you said before that if you're the senior players in the group that you need to listen. There's no one more senior at the Brisbane Bullets than Nathan Sobey.
I don't remember saying that.
Roll the tape. It was just before you said squeen earlier on. Adams, crossover on Sobey. Did enough defensively to make life difficult. Kings lead it by 13. There's a little extra pepper in this second quarter. And as we've learned from this season so far, Angus Glover not the type to take a backward step. Called for a foul.
There's energy in the building, no doubt about it. You can sense it. They feel that Xavier Cook's ejection could be the changing of momentum their home team needs.
Sobey forced into a really tough look. Great to see Matua Maker getting some extra minutes this evening, only averaging this part of 8 of them a game. His cousin McCaw not out there tonight due to injury. Double-digit margin for the Bullets. They're desperate to try and get Robert Franks going. Only 2 points on 1 of 4 from the field. Sobey late in the clock, stripped. Glover getting to the other end quickly. He lost it. Nice D from Franks.
Where they need to run some plays for Robert Franks, the Bullets. Angus Glover not happy with that whistle, but you know, he hasn't been able to get going. 2 points for the game so far. He's 4th in the league in scoring, Franks. But he would have more of a favourable matchup right now, but instead of running some plays for him, they're going to sit him down on the bench.
Tom Digba coming into the game. The next start, there he is cutting baseline. That pass knocked out of play. Pete, what have you seen from Tom Digba, the next start so far? 20 years of age, averaging 7 minutes a game, so being eased into the season by James Duncan.
We've seen little glimpses of what he can do. Extreme athlete, we know that. But again, we talk about where are you going to break into your minutes in this guard rotation when you've got Nathan Sobey and Mark Patterson. As Kadee knocks it down, you've got a veteran in Kadee coming off the bench. Anthony Drimmick's there and Tanner Krebs. They're a heavy guard lineup. They're extremely deep. We're going to get a timeout here as the Bullets have started to turn things around after that ejection from Xavier Cooks, but it's just hard to crack into. We haven't seen Isaiah Moss yet. This should be a real good sign for Jason Kadee. We talk about Jason Kadee and Anthony Drimmick. They're their main 2 shooters in those wing roles. They're 9 of 35 combined from the 3 so far this season. These are 2 guys who historically can knock it down at a high rate.
Jalen Adams has been outstanding. We spoke about him in the pre-game. We know what his best can look like. We just haven't seen much of it so far. Well, on the sample size of the first half, that's looking a lot more like it.
This is a lot more like him. You know, people have been watching him over the last few years, what he's done in the G League at the NBA level. I mean, he can really score the ball. Playmake out of pick and roll, and here in this first half, he has found his shooting touch. He was 5 of 27 from the field over his last 2 games, while 5 of 10 so far tonight, 3 of 7 from long range, and there you see just a long 2 in there as well. And the pull-ups, the floaters, he is a tough guy to defend in those actions, and he's got himself going in early in this one.
This is SodaStream shot chart. Only his 4th game of the season due to injury. It's a hard one, Pete, when you go into a season building so much of your offense around one player. Chase Buford, almost as soon as he got the job with the Sydney Kings, he knew Jalen Adams and had worked with him before and said, we've got to get this guy. We're going to build our whole offense around him. And then he was taken out of that lineup as the season started.
Well, they had the whole import trio. RJ Hunter had played with Jalen Adams, Jerome Martin. They all knew each other, obviously with the connection to Chase Buford there as well. But they just never had time on the floor together. Injuries in the preseason, then to start the season. And everything takes time to build. When you're starting a new chemistry, you're starting a new system with Chase Buford coming to the Kings from scratch, it's going to take time.
It's put back in by Martin with authority. Hasn't been his biggest game so far, but he's not the sort of man that can be kept down for too long. Kadee, excellent finish under pressure, and 1.
Having a good impact. Jason Kadee, beautiful pass there to find him on that back cut. You see good attack from Vasiljevic. No one boxes out Jarrell Martin. And then look at this pass from Patterson, just puts it right on the spot. for Cadee and knocks down the three before the timeout. And a three-point opportunity here the old-fashioned way. 6 quick points from Cadee.
Let's get courtside to John Guana.
Yeah, guys, Coach Duncan in that last timeout is talking about, guys, we need to defensive rebound. He was not happy after that Martin putback, but he's really happy with the offense at that play there. He wants to see action at the rim, and you can see Jason Cadee doing a good job of that, picking up the N1.
That energy, that spark off the bench that he's become known for with his Bullets team. Jason Cadee on full show. Speaking of on full show, the skill set of Jalen Adams.
Well, that was athletic, wasn't it? Jalen Adams in amongst the trees. Finishes nicely, up to 15 points now.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Brisbane a little stagnant here. Patterson getting his hands dirty. Nice finish. Has 8 points on 3 of 9.
I like this from the Bullets. Play through Patterson on the elbows. Elbow catches for him, and he can play make and pass from there like we saw him set up Cadee, but he can also overpower his primary defender and get to the hoop.
Silovic not that time. Martin still fighting on the offensive glass. Those points will count.
Mark Patterson just putting his hand up, touching the net. They're going to count that. That was coming off. So here we go. First, it was the offensive rebound, so that's going to really frustrate James Duncan. Mark Patterson just trying to time it, and just a little touch there. 2 points will count, but again, comes off an offensive rebound.
Through the ring to get the piece. It was through the ring. We can't let that one go.
Number 2 team in the competition for rebounds this year, Brisbane. They average 48 a game. Not sure that James Duncan will be too pleased that they're -4 in that stat heading towards halftime. Patterson, as Liam said, playing through him, travels. It's clear intent, though, all the same.
Just trying to find different ways to get going offensively. And there's the Sydney Kings brass. Part owner Andrew Bogut. CEO Chris Pongras there in the front row.
Great to see Bogues in the venue.
See Jordan Hunter in the back row there with his foot up. Out for the season with that foot injury, hopefully recovering well.
Free throws to come for Martin.
White number 1, push, 2 shots.
Foul will be called on Robert Franks, his first.
Let's go, guys. Let's go, Jarrell. We have shots. Let's go.
16-point deficit at quarter time for the Kings. They've been able to bridge that gap and win the quarter so far. Martin coming off a back-to-back double-doubles. Last round, 11 and 10 against the Breakers. 23 and 11 last Thursday against the Hawks. Having a fantastic season for the Kings. Now has 9 points on the way to half-time. Ding-ding from right in front of the Bullets bench.
Well, a design play there. I'll tell you what, Jason Cadee passed that up early because the defense collapsed, fell apart, and he would have had a layup. There's Mark Patterson getting a turnover. Bulls get another chance to try and claw this lead back before halftime.
What would be pleasing James Duncan in this second quarter, Liam?
I think their ball movement offensively is a little bit better. Still some stagnant possessions for sure, but generally getting it through hands, ticking the scoreboard over, and a little bit better effort defensively as well. It's making life a little bit tougher for the Kings. Not there, though. Wide open look for Bruce. They dodged the bullet.
Cadee runs the floor. Franks finds him.
Pass.
Sobey fouled by Bruce.
White 7, push.
Well, at the last second, pass the ball. Sobey, he just tries to throw that towards the hoop. We're going to get 3 free throws instead of 2 from the bonus right here. Sean Bruce just ran into him, and right at the last second, passed the ball. Foul's already called. He's got to launch that.
Sobey on the free throw line. 18 points last Saturday, their win over the Phoenix. Game number 199 this evening.
One shot.
Been an outstanding player for this team. Bronze medalist at the Olympics too, last year.
He's had a great career. He's a great example of just a guy who improves year in, year out. You know, maybe he's had a little bit of a tough start to this season by his own lofty standards from last year, but one most improved player back in 2017, All NBL second team, and then each and every year just kind of adding elements to his game, developing his ability to run a team at the point, still put points on the board at the two. Nice lob play there from the Kings. Martin can't finish, and then all of a sudden, Sobey is playing at a point where he's All NBL first team, MVP candidate, Olympian, playing a key role actually off the bench for that squad in Tokyo. So in the lead up to that 200th game, hats off to Nathan Sobey and his career so far.
It's a wild pass from Lamar Patterson. Give Sydney another look at it. His second turnover of the game. He's trying to make things happen, Lamar Patterson. Trying to get this back inside single figures. Going into the main break. Bruce running the point. As Vasiljevic working hard to get open.
Well, they've only got 4 assists as a team, the Bullets, so a lot of it is trying to break guys down one-on-one. We spoke about their energy, their defensive pressure, the way they executed the scout against the Phoenix to start the game. I thought that was probably the best thing. They had a game plan against Joe Chi, and they tried to bring him away from the hoop, and they tried to exploit that. And they really ran through sets well. They moved, they screened, everybody was doing the right thing, but that comes with energy. 4 assists means there's been a lot of ball on the floor. It's not flying around like James Duncan would like.
Just checking the clock. Late in the quarter. The Kings will take a lead into the half. The question is, what does that lead look like? Kadee missing out. It's tipped back to the advantage of Brisbane once again. And a fresh 14 to work with. Sobey almost spun out of control, adjusted the GPS and found the basket.
That was some funky footwork from Sobey as he found some open air to get that shot off.
The Kings with the last look of the half. Vodanovic, nice move, blocked. Terrell Harrison. Now it's Patterson, off to Sobey. One last hurrah, doesn't get it to go. Brisbane win the quarter and add some respectability to the scoreline, and at half-time, it's 44-35.
Good response from Brisbane in that second quarter. Xavier Cook's ejected. That's a huge turning point in this game, but after giving up 31 points to the Kings in that opening term, they restrict them to just 13 in that second period.
Let's get courtside to John Guana.
Yeah, guys, I'm here with DJ Vasiljevic. DJ, you guys came in desperate. What worked well for you in that first half?
Just defending and running in transition. Just, being in the positions to help, on Sobey and Kadee when they attack, be there when Lamar Patterson's driving, and then get the rebound and run.
How you feeling out there? You're back on the court. You're looking good. How you feeling?
I look good. I got a busted lip now, but I feel good. It's taken me really much 6 weeks to get back to my cell, but I feel really good back out there.
What do you got to do to close out the win?
Just keep doing what we're doing, rebound, don't let them get second shots, and make shots down the other end.
Well, good luck in the second half.
I
Thanks,
appreciate
DJ.
it. Thank you.
They look good, the Sydney Kings, and there's a lot that they can be pleased about. But one thing we know in the Hungry Jacks NBL, there's a long way to go in this game. Sydney in front at the half. We'll be back to pull it all apart on the other side of this. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company. It's Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Nissan Arena, the venue for the Bullets and the Kings, and the Sydney team, who are in desperate need of more wins, are taking a good margin into half-time. They lead 44-35, albeit the Brisbane Bullets were able to win that second quarter and get it back to a 9-point deficit.
I mean, whenever you play on the road, you've got to come out and bring your own energy. They did that from the jump, and especially after the last two disappointing outings for the Kings. Massive moment in the game right there. Xavier Cook's getting thrown out, but the Bullets did the right thing. They came back. They slowly started to chip away, knowing there's still a big 20 minutes on the other half. But again, the Sydney Kings got whatever they wanted offensively, especially in the first quarter, led by that man, Jalen Adams. But that's what you have to do. Jalen Adams got the 15 points. Vasiljevic has been good. Sobey and Patterson, they found it tough to try and get it going. Mark Patterson, when he gets the ball in the blocks, had a lot of success, but the other man they need to get going is Robert Franks. He's only had 2 points. He's got 5 rebounds. He needs to impose his will. And then you see 3 of 15 from 3 for the Bullets. Mark Patterson, 0 of 3. Sobey, 1 of 4. Franks missed a couple. They need other couple guys to step up, and 4 assists, which we highlighted, means the ball's just sticking. Obviously, you're not making a lot of shots, but when you are, that's a lot of one-on-one play. They need to get back to having that flow, the energy. Half-time should do them wonders.
The other stat that wasn't on that graphic is the turnovers. 11 turnovers for the Bullets in that opening half. So you combine the 11 turnovers with just the 4 assists, they've got some things to clean up offensively.
Pre-game, we spoke about the Sydney Kings and their inability to find enough buckets to win a game. They are 10th in the competition of 10 for points per game. Both of you spoke about Jalen Adams and said that we needed to see his best. He's got 15 at the half.
Huge. This is huge for the Kings. We've been saying for weeks, you can't really properly assess this Sydney team until you see them humming with Jalen Adams at the point guard spot, feeling good, back out on the floor and making plays. This is what he can do. 15 first half points at a high percentage, over 50% from the field, 3 of 7 from long range. And look, he hasn't shown the full arsenal yet either. Just the 2 assists. He's a really good playmaker out of pick and roll. So the combination of all of that makes him, a potential superstar in this league. Just starting to get his feet under him at the NBL level and having a big game so far tonight.
Big 20 minutes here for him, because now he's got to play without Xavier Cooks out there, who you could see he was exploiting on the on-ball. But here's his running mate, DJ Vasiljevic. We know what he did last season when he was fully healthy alongside Casper Ware. He can put him up in big numbers. He's not shy, and when he's shooting the ball like he is, playing with confidence, he's just so fun to watch. He's got 11 points. He's shooting the 3 ball at 41% in his 6 games so far this year, just averaging 6.5 points, but expect that to continue to rise. He's a man who plays full of confidence. He's exciting to watch and good to see him back out there.
For the Bullets, we heard James Duncan in one of those timeouts imploring his players to attack the basket. Well, geez, look at their shot chart, the SodaStream shot chart at half-time. 3 of 15 from long range in that opening half. Just weren't feeling it from the perimeter, but 10 of 11 from the free throw line. They've done a good job drawing fouls, getting themselves to the stripes. So they need to find a little bit. They need to knock down a few shots from the perimeter, continue to attack, and as Sobe said, need to find ways to get Robert Franks involved in the second half.
It's Sydney who lead at half-time, 44-35. And don't forget that you too can play like a pro thanks to Bunnings Warehouse, who are giving you the chance to win your very own court at home. You can enter now at win.nbl.com.au/Bunnings.
I was out there every day on the lower hoop just to show my supreme athleticism. I only worked on shooting, which is why that's really all I can do.
When you're 8 years old or 10 years old, it's the best thing in the world.
I had a basketball hoop and a little trampoline. I used to play back there for hours with my brother and get beat up a lot, but it was a lot of fun in the meantime.
I hope that one day when I grow up, I'll be able to give my kids a court at home as well.
That's where I lost a lot of games to my brother at.
It started at this height, and every year I got older, it moved higher and higher until I got to 10 foot, and I'm doing the same with my kids back at home.
My dad built one, so I had a little bit of like a half court going on, and that made my life the best, so I could never complain as a kid.
And that was kind of like our sanctuary, our getaway from everything.
Welcome back to Nissan Arena, where the Sydney Kings lead 44-35 over the Brisbane Bullets. Round 8 action in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The third quarter not too far away from getting going again. What would be the main point of discussion from a Brisbane point of view as we take a look at Nathan Sobey's numbers at half-time? What will James Duncan be looking for adjustments for in these third quarter?
I mean, energy is the obvious one. The way they started the game, they were flat, they were slow, but whole another half here. Without Xavier Cooks, that was a massive moment in the game because he only had the 2 points, but his imprint was everywhere. He had the 5 rebounds, he was cleaning up the glass, he was defending Robert Franks, who now gets 20 minutes on a defender not as good as Xavier Cooks, who can match up against him. He had 5 assists. You could see the way he was screening and rolling with Jalen Adams, with Terrell Harrison guarding him, enabled Jalen Adams to get to his floater, to get to a comfortable spot. So there's a big chance for him, an opportunity for the Bullets to come over the top here in the last 20 minutes.
And a reminder, as Pete said, no Xavier Cooks will take no further part in the game as we get courtside to John Guana.
Yeah, I was listening into the Bullets talk before they hit the court, and guys, their leadership group is taking ownership. It's on us. Those words came out of the mouth of Nathan Sobey. Look for the Bullets to try and get Lamar Patterson the ball here early, getting to the rim and looking either a shot at the rim or a kick out to open shooters.
Begin the third quarter. Bullets fans on their feet at Nissan Arena. Nice take from Martin. That puts them on their feet pretty quickly.
Good take. Strong take. Robert Franks, he needs to do a better job there. Just a simple spin move from Martin off the elbow, just right to the cup.
Both teams not exactly strong when it comes to third quarters. Brisbane 8th in the competition. Sydney 6th. He's finished there, as John spoke about, playing through Patterson. That pass knocked down. Sobey got a hand on it. Drimmick to the basket. He lays it up. Adams a little slow to get back to his feet. Anthony Drimmick with his first points in the game has had back-to-back 14-point games. Prior to that, his first 4 games of the season was 0, 5, 3, and 2.
Yeah, playing well now, though. He's been really good those last couple, highly efficient as well, those 14-point games. 6 of 9 from the field in both of them. And Xavier Cooks out. They've gone pretty small here, the Kings, to start this second half. Glover's come in to the lineup to begin this second half in place of him. So really 4 smalls plus Jarrell Martin. They didn't turn to Matul Maker or Tom Vodanovic. So does give a guy like Lamar Patterson a chance to overpower smaller defenders from that 3 spot.
Swaka Bullock kicks to Glover from well beyond the arc, buries it.
Well, that's the flip side. At the offensive end, spread them out. You got a bunch of guys on the floor who can shoot it and can make plays off the dribble. There, Glover sticks it for 3.
10-point ball game. Sobey picks up his dribble. Shot clock down to 5. Patterson trying to get all the way in, using that size and that strength to his advantage.
That's so tough for Mark Patterson. Well defended overall by the Kings as Jalen Adams tries to tee one up in transition. Starts the third quarter the way he started the game, knocking down a 3-ball. But they're switching 1 through 4. They were on that possession, leaving Jarrell Martin home on Terrell Harrison, and then everybody else just help each other out, try and switch and try and blow things up and make players like Lamar Patterson hit tough shots like he did that possession before.
4 of 8 from outside, Jalen Adams. Coming into the game, just 5 of 21 from outside.
Well, it's that defensive transition that James Duncan spoke about during the first quarter in a timeout. Firstly, someone's got to declare the ball, slow the ball down, and then you don't guard your own man. It's a good out-of-bounds set, good finish from Nathan Sobey. Whoever's in front of you, pull it up.
Adams matched up by Patterson, I should say. That would be the name if the 2 of them combined. Like Benefer. Vasiljevic. Bullets want to travel. Have a piece of that, says Jarrell Martin.
With the left.
54-43. Martin up to 13 points. Nice spin at the other end from Patterson. The game's gone up a notch in this third quarter.
He's going to work, Lamar Patterson. He's enjoying this Sydney lineup down that end of the floor. But the Bullets, meanwhile, they're not getting stops.
Had to change his mind mid-air. Can he get it back? Adams had room to fire away.
Well,
5 of 9 from outside.
Welcome to the NBL, Jalen Adams. This is what we expected. This is what he was hyped up to be. It's exactly what the Kings needed. 21 points now, 8 of 14 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, as you mentioned. He's having himself some sort of night. And there's a lucky bounce. Robert Franks trying to get him going. Just his 5th point.
Here's the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns. See the damage that Sydney did in the first quarter. Jalen Adams, that's 6.
Well, he is heating up. He's really feeling it now. Jalen Adams, they need to put a gut body on him as he crosses half court.
Oh, right back at you. All right, come on, Jalen Adams' turn now.
This is fun.
Oh, boy.
That won't be fun, though, for James Duncan. A bad breakdown defensively.
Well, that's what happens when Jalen Adams knocked down a couple threes in succession. Everyone thinks he's going to come down and let it fly. You lose Angus Glover. He did the right thing. Didn't just sit on the 3, attack the hoop with a cut. Pass over the top, easy 2.
Not that time for Patterson. Adams kicks out. Nice pass, but went charging into Sobey. That'll be an offensive foul.
Good job from Sobey. Had the read, got to the spot, and took the offensive foul. How was this putback from Jarrell Martin? Oh, boy. Nobody put a body on him, and he took advantage. Meanwhile, Jalen Adams having fun from the perimeter.
Guys, we're coming in. Step off. Come on when you get set.
24 points on 9 of 15 shooting, including 6 of 10 from beyond the arc for the Maryland native. Franks with his back to the basket. It's an undersized unit out there on the floor at the moment, as Liam's highlighted, which means opportunities for the likes of Patterson and Franks.
Well, they've gone back a little bit bigger. Now Matua Maker comes into the lineup, so a little bit more size at the 4 for the Kings.
Kadee back into the game too. Gave good energy in that first half when Brisbane desperately needed it. Sobey driving, forces Maker into the foul.
What I loved about that Robert Franks fadeaway, he knew exactly where he wanted to get to. He just kept trying to fake like he was going to go middle, because Jarrell Martin had that locked down. Took enough dribbles to get deep enough. As soon as he felt comfortable, faded away over that shoulder. Nothing but net. He's got 8 quick points here in the 3rd quarter.
$16 points for Sobey. 6th in the competition for free throw attempts per game. Liam highlighted that in the first half, that his scoring numbers might not be as high as what they were last season. He's getting downhill and he is doing the dirty work.
We talked about Jalen Adams heating up, the job Brisbane need to do on guarding him. There's the call from Chase Buford. Well, they also need to keep Jarrell Martin off the glass. Saw that offensive, the tip jam, the putback. He's got 6 of their 7 offensive rebounds, Martin.
Tough pass for him to reel in. Maker, late in the clock. He's got Kadee up in the air. Deep floater, Swakala bullet, offensive rebound. Loose ball. Look at the desperation from both teams.
Well, he had the chance. It's about 3.5 seconds to go when he got that ball at the top of the key. You can throw that one more to Jalen Adams, who was feeling hot. And then you see the desperation, both guys on the floor, and right now the substitution. We get our first look. Isaiah Moss, played in the NZNBL, also played at Iowa University and transferred to Kansas, and he's got the reputation of a bit of a scorer. How's this for Isaiah Moss? Once sophomore year for Iowa, had a 35-point game. In that game, had 19 points in 90 seconds.
Wow.
Now, you call that a bucket?
That is a bucket.
He can shoot it. Oh, Franks can't line that one up and knock it in. 20 points per game last season. He ends at NBL. Moss. Oh, my.
The lob from Adams for Jarrell Martin, who's spending a lot of time upstairs tonight.
Nice. Set up there. Put it right on the spot. Martin above the rim.
Isaiah Moss, number 4 for the Bullets. Haven't seen him at all this season due to a hamstring injury. That won't be troubling the scorers from Krebs. Adams takes it to him defensively. Moss caught up to him, but was called for the foul.
Look, whatever Jarrell Martin had for pre-game meal, he has been living above the rim in this one. That is an outstanding pass as well from Jalen Adams over the defender, timed perfectly, but Jarrell Martin, goodness me.
He's looking fit and bouncy, Jarrell Martin. I mentioned the first moment we saw him in their first game back after a bit of a break. So, geez, he's looking in good shape. And
play sneaky hops?
I think we've got to know Jarrell Martin pretty well throughout these couple of seasons, but he's a bit more bouncy this season than he was last year. We saw him come down the lane after whipping it behind his back a few weeks ago, and tonight, as you say, Jack, he is living above the rim.
Speak to people involved with the Kings organisation. He played 28 games last year, but they say that the second half of the season he was sore. He was coming back from an ankle injury. He just wasn't 100%. They said, judge him more on what you see this year.
I mean, he's an all-NBL caliber player. We saw that, and he was hampered with those injuries last season, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. When it came to the off-season, both the Kings and Jarrell Martin were quickly going to pick up a chance to come back in the purple and gold, and he's making plays like he has tonight. Why wouldn't you want Jarrell Martin on the team?
Bit of a funky lineup on the floor for the Bullets right now. No Sobey, no Patterson. So had a couple of empty offensive possessions, and they have trouble guarding Jalen Adams. Getting to the free throw line, getting to his spots in mid-range. He's got 28 now.
It's the most by any Kings player this season. Beats Jarrell Martin's previous best. Salt trying to body his way through. Did enough to score, the New Zealander.
You talk about that lineup from the Bullets. It was Tanner Krebs who was trying to have the job on Jalen Adams. Isaiah Moss was picking him up there before they've switched. We'll keep going to the hot hand.
Rebound for Moss. Kadee marshalling the troops, has room. Not the sort of man that you want to be giving room to. That brings the fans into it at Nissan Arena, and it's back to an 8-point game.
You love that from Jason Kadee. The Brisbane fans will enjoy that. He knows he's got to be the man to play make. Run this lineup out there offensively. An early ball screen in transition from Jack Salt. Gets a little airspace, and he knows what to do with it.
68-60. With 2 minutes 28 to play before half-time, before three-quarter time. And let's take a look at the night that Jarrell Martin has had. 15 points, 8 rebounds, but Pete, there's a reason he's 6 of 7. They've all been from under the cup.
I mean, they've been big dunks too. That first one down the lane, this putback over Lamar Patterson. That was the first play of the second half. Well drawn up when he just attacked the hoop. This one to finish it. It's an outstanding pass, perfectly timed finish. He is having himself a game. The 6 offensive rebounds is something that really stands out for me. That's just energy and effort. And I tell you what, that's a man who realizes that his rebounding partner in crime, Xavier Cooks, who's not there. He's had the early shower. Jarrell Martin has really imposed himself on the glass. I'm going to have to do that.
The Bullets down by 8, but we mentioned their fans trying to get themselves involved in this one.
Remember this.
Go back to recently at Nissan Arena. There's Nathan Sobey.
Ouch.
Acquainting himself with a fan who's come prepared tonight. There's Beth, who's come prepared for Nathan Sobey.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's magnificent.
From all reports, Nathan Sobey gave her a phone call following day just to check in, make sure she was all right, and obviously welcome her back to the game. And
did he give her that hard hat?
It could be it's probably close to an unsportsmanlike flagrant one. It's a bit of an elbow first.
His former teammate, Mitch Creek, had to swoop in and help her up. Nice to see she came prepared tonight.
That's smart. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Moss, we know he can shoot. That wasn't too far away. His first look in the Hungry Jacks NBL. And the Kings with Martin off the floor at the moment. And Jarrell Adams, so a bit of a different lineup there. Vasiljevic. Yes.
Beautiful. Great poise from Vasiljevic. Just a little shot fake, gets Lamar Patterson out of position, takes his time and drills his fourth triple.
Let's check in with John Guana, courtside.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sydney Kings coach Chase Buford wanted. He wanted to get DJ at that three. He wants his team to play with better energy. He felt like they were a little bit flat. Wants more energy defensively. He sees they want this win. The energy needs to be there if they're going to pick it up.
Well, Jalen Adams checking back in this game. He's already the scorer's table about 32 seconds after he sat down. He started walking back to the score space to check in. Got the 28 points in just over 21 minutes. 4 assists.
499 threes. Jason Gadee sitting on at the moment after that last knockdown. Patterson managed to get away from Bruce. That drops. A bit happening afterwards as well. Jack Salt involved, Sean Bruce involved.
We don't need anything more. I got the foul.
There's a whistle on that play. Jack Salt's going to pick it up. Sean Bruce not happy with the big Kiwi.
Good of official Mark Mill to step straight in as well. The size of that man's arms, he can take care of all situations.
Okay, it's gone in. White ball on the baseline.
Give him a little extra something underneath there, Jack Salt.
You want to have a look at it? You want to have a look on the happy?
Former Horsham Hornet didn't appreciate it.
3 or 5 fouls? Before or after? So have you got a foul?
There is Jack Salt, his fourth game of the season.
We've got 2 different fouls. We've got Salt first and then Bruce. Normal foul?
I want to look at it.
Okay, so you're looking at an upgrade.
Yes,
so
potential
normal
upgrade.
foul on Salt.
So you can hear the officials,
Right,
the conversation that they're having.
Center. Yep. We have a normal foul on Salt on the rebound. And then we have a retaliation foul on Bruce. Scott would like to look at the Bruce one for a potential upgrade.
Oh, geez. What? Are we looking at Jack Salt, I think, for an upgrade?
Yes.
I mean, it might just be now part of the process, even if... So they're going to look at Sean Bruce.
Yes,
You'd
so
think
we
they'd
have a
look
foul
at
on
Jack
Bruce.
Salt first.
Well,
here we
so
go.
it's 2 separate fouls, one on Salt, one on Bruce. It'll count to each other out. But Scott has asked to look at the foul with Bruce for a potential upgrade.
There's not much there from Sean Bruce.
Said upgrade for Sean Bruce. It's this left arm from Salt that you'd want to have a look at, I would have thought. Nothing to it, though.
Not
It
much.
was more of a shove than a...
Exactly what I was thinking of, a big man trying to get rid of the little guy, trying to move him out the way.
Yeah, play on.
Sean Bruce didn't like it, and it's going to be a very quick answer if they're looking at Sean Bruce didn't do. Had a few words, I'm sure about that. Sean Bruce would have, but there's nothing in that.
What you're seeing on your screen is what the replay centre are looking at right now.
Jack Salt just doing what he has to do, trying to get down and attack the
Points count.
The rim.
We have a foul on blue 33. After the basket, we have white ball.
There we go. And there you go, no foul on Sean Bruce at all, which we saw pretty clearly. So that's why the replay centre's there. Get it right. That's it. Wasn't a whole lot in it from Jack Salt. I don't know, I might have looked at it, but just kind of get the guard out the way. And definitely it's a foul. No doubt about that, but all sorted. Play on.
And an important minute coming up here. On the way to three-quarter time. There's Mark Mill. Steps straight in. Like a bodyguard at a nightclub. Just spread the bodies apart.
Wasn't quite Stephen Adams.
No. Nice pass from Adams. for Swakala Bullock.
33, blocking foul.
Foul will be on Salt. Only number 3. Swakala Bullock going to get himself to the free throw line. I mentioned that career high night last Thursday against the Illawarra Hawks. 17 points. He comes from good pedigree, obviously, spending a lot of time in the Perth Wildcats system and being part of 2 titles. He's out at the moment, Maker on the free throw line, but on Swakala Bullock, the season that he's had so far, Liam, and the impact that he's had now as a starter for the Kings.
It's been really good. Yeah, you tip your hat to CEO pick Chris Bongras, because that's 2 years in a row they picked a guy up as a nominated replacement player. Tom Vodanovic late last season, played a role, helped him out. And Swakala Bullock this year for sure.
Sobey steps into the 3.
It was a great screen from Harrison, who checks back into the game after Salt picked up his 3rd foul. So a great screen, and Chase Buford yelling that it's a moving screen on the sideline.
Adams trying to create off the dribble. His pass intercepted. Vodanovic won it. Harrison blocked the first shot. Maker went upstairs. He drew contact.
Extra possessions from the Kings. Energy and activity stay with the play, and winning the ball back. Tyrell Harrison, you see it here, James Duncan in the background yelling cat and mouse with Tyrell Harrison. He's talking about the way in which he's guarding the action involving Jalen Adams, who has been feasting off of those situations all night long. It was a little bit better there from Harrison. Hands up, making Adams think about it. Then he recovers for the shot block, but the Kings stuck with the play.
Matua Maker, his first miss from the free throw line this season. And he's second. And that means, for Queensland basketball fans, all you need is the code word arena. You got yourself some Hungry Jack's burgers. That's just an automatic call in on the way home. Now, isn't it through a drive-through?
I wonder if the young fella from Adelaide just decided to pop up and just chase the burgers around. Big burger fan.
Think Bogus grabbing a burger on the way home?
Yeah, why not? You're in Queensland, so...
You're retired.
You're retired. You're not as worried about skin folds and those sorts of things anymore. Clock down to 5. Adams, deep 3. Here's long. And we've got ourselves a game heading into 3/4 time. The Sydney Kings lead 72-65. Slowly but surely, the Brisbane Bullets have been able to claw their way back into this game. Don't go too far. The final quarter is coming up next from Nissan Arena in the Hungry Jacks NBL. You're watching Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. At one stage, the Brisbane Bullets led by trail by 19 in the game. They've got it back to a much more manageable 7-point deficit at three-quarter time.
Their big three stepping up. 23 of Brisbane's 30 points in that third quarter from Franks, Patterson and Sobian. Meanwhile, it's the three-point shooting from the Kings that's been the difference. 12 of 26, 46%, 12 made threes. They haven't shot above 36% from three in any game this season, but they're lighting it up tonight.
Good look for Vodanovic.
Well, we spoke about Sydney's fourth quarter fade-outs. This is a huge test for them. They've been terrific so far tonight. In the last three final quarters they've played, 12 total field goals across that entire span as Jason Kadee knocks down the step-back three. The Kings are 12 of 50 over their last three final quarters played, and including that time, not a single bench player has scored a field goal. And they've started this with a turnover.
And there's a milestone for one of the really good guys in the NBL, Jason Kadee. 503 points made over 320 games.
And he just has an ability to turn games on their head, Jason Kadee. Three-point hit, active there. They win the ball back. Gets amped to the crowd. Bit of momentum going the way of the Bullets.
Drimmick to the basket. Has Sobey in the corner. Yes!
Oh, what a start. No doubt Brisbane Bullets unaware of the fourth quarter fade-outs from the Sydney Kings. Look no further than a game against the Breakers. New Zealand going on an 18-1 run to finish that game. The Kings know that. It's in the back of their mind as well.
9 straight points. And they've got a chance to take the lead on this possession. Sobey up the floor for Harrison.
Timeout.
It's taken all of 1 minute and 20 seconds for the Bullets to chase this lead down and have one of their own.
And they're going berserk in the Armoury Nissan Arena right now. 8-zip start to the fourth for the Bullets.
(73-72). 11 unanswered points from the Bullets. Remarkable stuff.
They're getting stops and running. Brisbane. Sydney haven't scored, as we mentioned, and Brisbane just getting downhill, making things happen. Sobey, Kadee, huge parts of this little run here to begin the fourth quarter.
And Pete, it feels like Sydney haven't touched the basketball to start this term.
Well, they had a turnover, missed shot. Sean Bruce going up against three guys. They need to get back to what was working. What was working was the ball in Jarrell Martin's hands, or Jalen Adams making plays.
What a remarkable start to the last quarter. Fans on their feet at Nissan Arena, and here's why. All of this in 1:20.
It started there with Jason Kadee. Off the Sobey pass, then Sobey there off the Drimmick pass. The ball's moving, guys finding each other, and then Sobey in transition. Beautiful read, finds Harrison over the top. 8-zip run, Bullets in the lead.
16 points was the margin at quarter time. It feels like a lifetime ago now. Vasiljevic out of the timeout, scores.
Well, good movement. And here James Duncan, he was right. A couple of happy feet in there. Well, the potential travels, doesn't matter. 2 points on the board. You're going to keep locking up on defense.
Drimmick with the left hand. Harrison couldn't tip it in. Wrestles back control.
We're good. Jump ball, fellas.
Jump ball. Possession arrow with the Bullets. Pete, you spoke about the Sydney Kings and their last 2 double-figure leads that they've had. In their last 3 fourth quarters, they've been outscored by 30.
Well, exactly right. I mean, that's been the biggest thing. And as I mentioned, the 12 of 50 combined field goals across that span, and no bench player hitting any field goals. So they have to keep ticking the scoreboard over. Brisbane Bullets are playing at home. The fans are up and about. They're not going to go away. And it's this man right here, Jalen Adams, 28 points.
Martin wanted a foul. Bullets looking for win number 4 of the season. Sobey on the attack. 25 points, some of them when it's mattering most.
Good read from Sobey. Just sensed his defender, fallen asleep a little, rejected the screen, took it right to the cup.
Call that a shooter's roll. That's from Vasiljevic. Good play call. Everyone looking at Jalen Adams coming off that screen, and Vasiljevic just flat to the wing. Let the shooters bounce. Good knockdown.
5 of 8 across the night from outside. Kadee. What energy he has brought to Nissan Arena tonight. The fans love it.
4 of 6 tonight. He was 6 of 20 on the season coming into this game. This is what he can do. As Liam said, he has these periods where he just can knock it down, start getting unconscious from outside.
Terrell Harrison now with 10 rebounds to go with his 5 points. Franks fouled over the back. We check in with John Guana at Nissan Arena.
Yeah, guys, I spoke to Coach Buford about the Kings' fourth quarter struggles, and he seems to think that he's been pretty happy with the defense. He feels that it's on the offensive end. It's poor shot selection that's leading to transition opportunities for the opposition. Now, on the other side of things, I was listening into the Bullets at quarter time, and it was Captain Jason Kadee who was really vocal, trying to get his team into the game. Guys, we're only down 7, and you can see he's leading out on the floor now outside of the quarter time break.
He's certainly, no question about it, Jason Kadee. If he wants to have a future with the whiteboard, I think it's a very real possibility for him. And that leadership that John spoke about has come to the fore in this game.
Oh, no doubt about that. They're having a huge impact out there. The Bullets have outscored Sydney by 17 points during Kadee's minutes out there on the floor in a 2-point game.
Now he's got the job of trying to stop Jalen Adams. Late shot clock for Sydney. Vasiljevic open.
They got away with one there. Never close out on the corner of Sean Bruce. He gets the one more to Angus Glover. Run at Angus Glover, leave Vasiljevic wide open. He was 5 of 8 before that 3. He's going to make someone else have to knock one down.
Nice move by Sobey. Forces Adams into his 3rd foul and gets himself back on the strike.
He's making really good reads. Sobey, the lob to Harrison in transition. The rejection of the screen before we spoke about getting to the cup. And there he could feel Jalen Adams reaching. Just taking some risks defensively on the ball. So just got to step in front of him, establish contact, got to the free throw line.
Got the 25 points on 7 of 12 from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. And I loved it when he started a little slow, as you mentioned, Liam. When he got fouled on that 3, it was just a time for him to start getting his eye in, go to the free throw line and knock him down as he misses that one. Start feeling good, let the scoreboard tick over, and then everything's opened up. He's got into his groove. He's hit 3 threes, and he's just been in attack mode.
Hadn't had a 20-point game since round 1. He's certainly taken care of that tonight. That's 26. Jalen Adams, the leading scorer in the game with 28 for Sydney. Vasiljevic trying to have 20 of his own. He's had a couple bounce his way tonight. Not that time. Bullets lead by 3 at Nissan Arena. Sobey. Shot clock at 9. Again, pushes off Adams. Help D came from Martin, and it was good. Swarkle a bullet to the other end of the floor.
There you go, that's another one. Even Sobey had one earlier in the game, but blocking foul's called. If you swarkle a bullet, you've just got to throw that ball at the hoop. It's going to be on the pass from the baseline. You usually had 2 free throws. As soon as you feel that bump, you've got control of the ball. If any attempt to try and throw it at the hoop, it's going to send you to the free throw line.
Both teams play each other on Sunday. And they come back in 48 hours. It'll be the Kings home game at Kudos Bank Arena. where they themselves have had a really good winning record against Brisbane on their home floor. 8th rebound for Robert Franks. Make that 9. Kadee to Sobey, long way out.
Bit of a heat check there from Nathan Sobey. Can we have a heat check off going on the free throw line?
Oh, why not?
And there's Robert Franks' double-double. Gone about it awfully quietly, but just the impact that he can have. 11 points, 10 rebounds now.
2 players in double-figure rebounds tonight, Brisbane. Franks with 10, Terrell Harrison with 11. Patterson bodies in on Swakala Bullock, falls out for Kadee. There's Harrison without a body on him. Puts it back in. They've had a good night with the rebound count. Again, the Bullets. There's Harrison. Trails Adams to the basket. Gets a hand on it. Now Patterson. Luckily falls out for Kadee. He couldn't get it to go either.
Kings really need to get something good. They've gone awfully dry again offensively here. Martin hoisting a couple of triples up. Adams blocked at the rim, needs something good.
It just feels like right now, Pete, with 3.5 minutes to go, the Kings are on the edge of the cliff and they're just hanging on.
Man, it's deja vu for Kings fans. This is what we've seen over the last few games. Robert Franks tees one up, knocks it down. And they're out by 8.
Oh my. Sydney Kings, another fourth quarter collapse in action here. Big comeback from the Bullets. It's been 20-5 in this last quarter. Timeout Sydney after that. Franks triple. He shows the crowd exactly how many he just put on the board.
85-77. The Bullets have scored the last 10 points, and you could argue from where they were earlier in the game, they may not have been able to get to this point if it wasn't for that man, Jason Kadee.
This is what he does. Just goes about his business quietly. He's averaging 8 points a game, but 4 assists, gets people involved. In the last couple of weeks, he's been putting his head down trying to attack the hoop, and when you do that, you've always got to respect his ability to knock down the 3. As we saw his milestone, 500 career threes. Can't lose him. No, he's an absolute sharpshooter. When he starts feeling good, boy, he feels good. Here's his SodaStream shot chart. And a big impact off the bench, and this is what James Duncan talks about with their depth. If it's not his night, maybe it's Anthony Drimmick who's been quiet tonight. Maybe it's Tanner Krebs who comes in, has a big impact. They've got so many different guys who can step up when it matters most. And they've got the veterans like Jason Kadee to help out.
Maybe he's the man to shoot from full court for $100,000. If you think that you can do it, the details are on your screen. The way he's shooting the ball tonight, you wouldn't rule him out.
Gut check moment here for the Sydney Kings. Their fourth quarter issues have been much discussed in recent times. It's been a problem for them all season long to this point. And it's, as I said, it's been 20-5 in this fourth quarter. What do you go to? What plays do you go to get a bucket when the defense ramps up in the fourth quarter? The Kings need to tick it over.
Well,
that's who you go to.
That's a great play call. But you see how they got a bit side to side, and then they brought Vasiljevic into an on-ball screen to see whether the defenders would switch or whether they'd stay with it. They got confused, and it was a layup for Adams, who's now got a 30-piece on the night. That was a really good set drawn up by Chase Buford, well executed. The defense fell apart.
Not sure that was what they were looking for, though. An air ball from Bruce.
Slice.
2.5 minutes remaining. That will be a foul on Patterson.
Push, offense.
His second.
There's the take from Adams, and then just slips. His left foot slips along the floor underneath him. Took a while to get going. That's got to be tough on the hip flexor.
That's exactly what it is. Hip flexor groin.
He checks out of the game. That is not what they need, because he's the key for their offensive execution right now.
Timeout call, which gives Jalen Adams a chance to quickly spend some time with the Kings medical staff. He looks to be okay. He's certainly going to try and push through it. See if he can stay in the game.
They need to play through him. They play through Jalen Adams here in this fourth quarter. Coach's challenge.
So
it's on the offensive foul on the screen. That's what they're challenging here. It's called on Lamar Patterson.
So what happens first before Patterson makes contact with Adams?
Well, what doesn't help Lamar Patterson's case here is Jalen Adams is a little ginger, so he's not down in the stance. He hasn't got balance. He's not set at all. And then Lamar Patterson's still moving into him. That's going to be hard to overturn, I would think.
There's some contact from Sean Bruce.
What's Sean Bruce doing here?
On Jalen Adams' back as well. Here's all the angles you want to get a look at. You see Sean Bruce, his right elbow just right in the middle of Jalen Adams' back, and he folds like a deck chair.
How much of that contact can be attributed to Lamar Patterson?
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it?
It's almost a foul on Sean Bruce.
That's what they're looking at, because Lamar Patterson definitely makes contact with him, but is that contact coming from Sean Bruce? From that angle, you'd probably say it is. And it just happened at the perfect timing when Lamar Patterson was up there. He wasn't set, but again, what's the contact coming from?
That's Sean Bruce to me, pushing him over.
I think you're right, but Lamar Patterson a little bit extra at the end.
Well, he just lost his balance over the top because he didn't expect Jalen Adams to be on his haunches.
Well, you could see Lamar Patterson in the replay, and as it happened as well, put his hands up and said, well, I didn't touch him. He might have a case here.
Well, they're having a really good, hard, long look at it. The vision you're seeing here is what they're looking at in the replay center. Going over and over, trying to ascertain exactly how much of this contact was Sean Bruce and how much was Lamar Patterson, because he certainly wasn't set, Patterson. It was a bit sloppy the way he came into the screening action.
That's what I talked about, just the timing of Sean Bruce as well. Maybe Jalen Adams. I mean, your eyes are on Nathan Sobey, so if you feel someone push into your back, you're going to be going down. You know it's going to be a foul, but you don't often think it's going to be your teammate. I love being wrong in these, so I'll have a crack. I think that it's just the timing of it which is going to make it hard to overturn, because as Sean Bruce, whether he does enough or whatever, but as Lamar Patterson, as you said, Liam, not set, gets him at the exact right time, same time.
All right, well, I'll take devil's advocate. I'll play devil's advocate and say they're gonna come to the decision that it was Sean Bruce that knocked Jalen Adams over and overturn it.
Be right. It definitely looks it from that bottom right angle.
It's got him right in the middle of the back.
Brisbane ball sideline. The coach's challenge is successful. They retain their timeout. The call is overturned. There's no call on the play. We have Brisbane ball, 12 seconds on the shot clock.
That's why you use your coach's challenge right there.
And that's why we have the coach's challenge in play, because that ends up being the correct call. The official was kind of fooled in the moment, clearly. And in the end, we get the call right.
But you can understand when you see it at full speed, that's exactly what it looks like when Lamar Patterson gets up there, he's not set. And that's why Lamar Patterson wasn't happy at all. And coach trusts him back to the hierarchy. You trust your stars.
Correct.
And you get the coach's challenge correct.
Big play here for the Kings, though. Down 6, 2.5 to play.
Sub back out. We haven't had a clock run.
Needs to get a couple of stops, and Adams needs to come out of the game.
We haven't had a clock phase.
Was subbed out. That's what Chris Reed's explaining.
We haven't had a clock phase, so he can get back in the next time. It has to run.
He was back in the game, right?
They subbed him out to try and get his leg right. And they needed a possession to occur. Next stop, Adams back in the game. Beautiful play.
Frank's underneath, foul.
White number 12.
Excellent execution from the Bullets.
It's simple, but highly effective. Beautiful lob pass over the top. Got the mismatch. Glover fronting Robert Franks. Get him down low, and he just takes his time and gets to the strike.
14 points.
Okay, here we go. 2 shots.
10 rebounds. As you said earlier, Pete, he's just quietly gone about his business tonight, Robert Franks.
Really has. Back-to-back 3 balls in that third quarter when they went on the run. But he's been very efficient, and this is really where you miss Xavier Cooks. We spoke about how well he did in the first half. Guarding Robert Franks, his length, his athleticism. He's giving Franks all sorts of problems.
Adams for Martin. Feet set. And I guess that's the inevitable question as we tick up to 2 minutes remaining is what would this game have looked like if Xavier Cooks was still in it from a Sydney perspective?
Well, it looked very different. He was plus 17 before he left the game, Xavier Cooks.
Sobey backdoor. Now it's hard for the Kings. A 10-point lead for the Bullets. What a turnaround in this last quarter. Sobey not done with yet. Franks. They live to fight another day, the Kings. They need buckets, and they need buckets quick. That'll be a Brisbane ball.
Well, the 3-point shot has deserted them.
It actually won't be a Brisbane ball.
Kings are going to get it back, but geez, 7 fourth quarter points here for the Kings. Jarrell Martin's had 3 attempts from long range. He's sub 30% from 3 on the season. Need to get something better than that at the rim. Here's another one. Drills that. 1 of 4 for him in this fourth quarter. It's going to be too little, too late for Sydney.
Bullets get beyond halfway. Veteran experience of Sobey. Did he help them through? Franks fires away again. The Kings charge forward. Vasiljevic driving all the way in. Layup.
Smart play from Vasiljevic. Don't need to get a 3. You got that from Martin in the corner, which was a great play from Jalen Adams. Tell you what, James Duncan was screaming about what the play was. He had Terrell Harrison's focus, who was guarding Martin, and they just whipped it behind his back. Martin knocked down the 3 ball, but Nathan Sobey, it's superstar stuff from him. This is what we come to expect. As you said, Jack, hasn't scored over 20 since the first game of the season. The game was there to be taken over. He went to what he had to do, slowly clawed them back by attacking the hoop, got to the free throw line a couple times. Then the rest of his game opens up. Then his 3 ball starts to drop. He starts feeling good about himself. He's got a full head of steam, and he's knocked down a couple of shots. He's so tough to stop.
It took them a while to get going, the Bullets. When they did, it was the Sobey and Cadiz show combining that put the train on the tracks. There's the SodaStream shot chart. Only 7 3-point attempts for the game, which is a little low by Nathan Sobey's standards, but that's a decent clip.
A lot at the cup, a lot at the free throw line. That's a highly efficient night's work from Nathan Sobey. 28 points, team leading scorer, and just whenever they needed something good, Sobey was able to provide it. And what can the Kings come up with here? They need to stop. A couple of more quick buckets. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. 5-point deficit, a tick under a minute to play. But this possession here, crucially important.
84th meeting in the history between these two teams. Home court advantage has been huge across the last 3 seasons. It's been a big factor for Brisbane tonight. Next foul will send the Bullets to the line as Adams picks up his 4th.
You don't necessarily have to foul. Yeah, you give the chance the next one will go to the free throw line, but get some traps, get some pressure, then get down and get a quick bucket. Then you get into the foul game. That's
no score.
They send Harrison to the free throw line. He's knocked down his only free throw so far tonight. Put the pressure on him to knock down a couple.
It's a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line this season. Terrell Harrison. You know what that normally means.
You haven't, have you?
Makes the first. Look at that, 13 rebounds. Top 10 in the competition in that stat coming into tonight. Makes both, cool as a cucumber.
What commentator's curse?
91-84. Vasiljevic misses out, and they'll have to foul straight away. And the equation has become even more difficult for them.
Well, they've ran that play all night. Sydney Kings, just to get some shooters open. There's their next 4 matches. We're going to run this one back on Sunday, which will be a fun one at Kudos Bank Arena. You got the Wildcats, and you head down to see the Jack Jumpers and the Taipans. The Sydney Kings know right now it's an outstanding game for 3 quarters, and it's the same thing we've spoke about over the last few games, that 4th quarter collapse. Chase Buford knows it, the players know it.
So how do you review this game going into Sunday, knowing that for 3 quarters you played really good basketball?
Well, a lot of what you're going to say is what you've been saying all week after losing to New Zealand down the stretch last week. That 4th quarter execution at the offensive end in particular, just 12 4th quarter points. And the Bullets have run over the top. Xavier Cooks, of course, that ejection, huge play. They were dominating proceedings at that point. And since then, things have got away from them.
Fans on their feet. They've witnessed the equal biggest comeback. And now it is a result that they can put in the book. The Brisbane Bullets winning consecutive games for the first time in the Hungry Jacks NBL season. Winners tonight at Nissan Arena in impressive fashion, 96-87. They go 4-3 on the season, but we won't have to wait long for the second chapter. They're back to do it again on Sunday.
It was a great effort from the Bullets. They knew they were a chance after Xavier Cooks got thrown out. They knew they just had to keep playing their style. Excellent first minute of the 3rd quarter. That's what set up this second half comeback. The Kings are great, 75% of the game. Nathan Sobey was outstanding. He had 30 points. He was their man. He's our Foot Locker player of the game. 30 points, 4 rebounds, couple of assists. Attack the hoop at will. Once he got going, everybody came along for the show. Robert Franks was great. He had 16 and 11. Jason Kadee was excellent. Lamar Patterson did his thing. It was all that man there. And the game was on the line to be taken over until Nathan Sobey does.
4th time in his career at Nissan Arena, Liam, that Nathan Sobey has had a 30-piece, and this is a really important one for him tonight.
Huge one for him and the Bullets. And he was big all night long in all the key moments. 33, but he had some help, as Pete just outlined, with those key guys, Kadee, Patterson, Franks in particular. They celebrate mid-court for Sydney. They got to lick their wounds. Bounce back a couple of days' time against Brisbane in Sydney.
We're back to wrap it up on the other side of this. Remarkable performance from the Brisbane Bullets. Winners tonight, 96-87. What a night it was at Nissan Arena. A stunning comeback from the Brisbane Bullets, down 19. And the game-changing moment when Xavier Cooks was ejected in the second quarter. Brisbane tonight winning 96-87. The Sydney Kings are going to be left wondering where it all went wrong.
Well, it all went wrong in the fourth quarter, 31-15 for Brisbane in that fourth term. Jason Kadee was huge. Nathan Sobey, massive all night long with a game-high 33 points, tied with Jalen Adams. Sorry, Sobey had 30. Adams was huge. Franks, big, late. They just couldn't tick the scoreboard over enough late, the Kings. Xavier Cook's ejection was massive. Of course, he picked up the unsportsmanlike for grabbing a jersey defensively early, and then he picked up a tech for having something to say to the ref, and he was plus 17 out there on the floor. Real turning point of the game. Sobey and Kadee leading the way for Brisbane, Adams and Vasiljevic for Sydney. Jarrell Martin was also really, really good. Big double-double for him, but that is a tough loss for Sydney. They were in control of that game for long stretches and couldn't get over the line.
And Pete, for the Brisbane Bullets, we've spoken a lot about their scoring prowess this season. There's the full-time stats. 61 points in the second half. It was an avalanche.
Well, they didn't get rattled. That's what they had to do. They would have spoken about at halftime saying Xavier Cooks is gone. Let's get back to the way we like to play. And the best part about it is both these teams are going to run it back. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see Jalen Adams, that little tweak of the groin, how that pulls up on Sunday. That's always one that's going to hurt the next day. There might be a chance that he's not at 100%, which is really going to hurt because he was outstanding. That's the one positive that the Kings can really take out of this game is Jalen Adams has arrived, and they're going to need him to continue to perform that. But you're just going to keep an eye on that one.
The ladder, as it stands right now, with the opening game of round 8. It's a good result for the Brisbane Bullets, who have been able to hang on to 5th spot there. And you can see they have a really clear 2-game buffer over the Cairns Taipans. The Kings, needless to say, they wouldn't want to be there.
No, they need to bounce back in a big way in that game against Brisbane coming up. Big win for the Bullets. They're above 500 now, 2 in a row for the first time this season, and a chance to build some momentum as they go into the Harbour City.
We've got a doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. The Adelaide 36ers take on Melbourne, and then what about the second game as well? Illawarra and the Perth Wildcats at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. We're just getting started in round 8, and if tonight's anything to go by, it is going to be a massive one. On behalf of Liam, Pete, Johnny Guana and all of our team, both in the venue and behind the scenes, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Can't wait to join you tomorrow afternoon for a doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise. I'm top tier, I'm that guy. I'm the man of the year. I'm a man with no fear. I think like I'm a shark.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Trade.
Yeah, just grab one of us next time, because that would be good to know. Yeah. There we go. That's what the view is.
Yeah, do you want to set it up? Now, if we we talk into it, are you able to hear it from your...
What was that, sorry?
If we talk, are you able to hear it on the computer? Just to
I will, but I sit outside.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to...
Yeah. Just want to make sure it's going through. Test 1, 2, test. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's just echo. Just echoing.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah.
Make sure no one unplugs this.
All right, good, thank you. sitting here. Joseph here. Nice to see everyone.